The Onion has always been ahead of the curve, ahead of everyone else. Always on top of world events that shape our world.
Starting as a one-sheet newspaper printed in 1756, it is now a globe-spanning news monolith with offices in over 100 of the world's best cities. In the past, The Onion has toppled world leaders, covered world events, and always kept an eye on the local scene, both large and small. Icons gets a first-ever behind-the-scenes look at how this award-winning newspaper develops a story. From the journalist pitch meetings all the way to the printing press, we explore the dizzying highs and the not-so-bad lows of America's finest news source, The Onion.
People just see The Onion as the last true vestige of truthfulness and integrity in journalism. If they knew the history, they'd understand there's a lot more to it.
The Onion's history is indeed a long and relatively untarnished one. It was founded in 1756 when Friedrich Siegfried Zweibel traded a sack of yams for a second-hand printing press.
This immigrant tuber farmer, Zweibel, came up with a one-sheet newspaper, printed on both sides. Because, frankly, he didn't know any better.
Supposedly, the reason he called the newspaper the Mercantile Onion was because those are the only two words he knew in English.
That first issue was extraordinary. While some people found his diatribe against Benjamin Franklin intriguing, more people were interested in the back of the paper, which contained an offer of ½ cent off a 50-pound sack of beets.
It was the first time anybody had actually experienced a promotional device. It made The Onion an immediate hit.
The Onion has, for the first time in history, allowed outside camera crews into their famously private newsrooms.
Our routine? Well, really quite similar to all the other newspapers. Every Monday, the editorial staff gets together. We make a decision on what news items we're going to be covering that.
I mean, we figure it might as well get something done.
Anybody got anything else?
What about area man just using Virgin Mary to get to Jesus? And giant bass hates having his photo taken.
Good. Sit on those, see what develops. National Desk, what do you got?
We got three things right now. NASA chief under fire for personal shuttle use. Cat general claims the war on string may be unwinnable. And finally, the CIA realizes it's been using black highlighters all these years.
You got two sources on the NASA chief?
On Mondays, we're just looking for the stories that will make the cut. Some do, some don't. And well, some are so explosive that we have to shred them so nobody ever sees it. Those are the ones that keep me up at night.
There's a good international story that's been bubbling up from my D.C. contacts. U.S. intelligence reports Nuke-Havistan may actually have nuclear weapons.
Oh. Okay. Can you get a verification on that?
Yeah, let's see if I can do it.
That's a big 10-4, Dusty Eagle. You keep your peepers popping for Smokies, all right? It's confirmed. Something's going on, but nobody knows what.
All right, we're going to slot that for page 6.
Page 6? This could be a huge story.
Yeah, show me in print. Anybody got anything else? All right, we'll see you tomorrow, people. We select the lead stories, and the reporters make it happen.
What's up?
Got the Nuke-Havistan story. It's a big one.
Now, listen, this could easily be a cover story. Like, this would be our one shot of getting, like, front page.
It's just that this paper has such a rich history, I wouldn't want to tarnish it.
Who's got the England Bleach story?
Hi there, Chief.
George, I mean, yeah, he has seniority. He is, you know, a guy to look up to, I think.
Really? What has he written?
Oh, man, basically the article.
Holy man walks on moon.
Yeah, exactly. Guy that gets a lot of, guy that gets a lot of good, good reporting.
Even if he does, put a balls or, a scrotum into an article about children's charities. Or a titty we'll just sort of creep in. But, luckily we have, editors.
Coming up, a new century and a new style of hat would prove to be a deadly combination for the upstart newspaper. And later, our two intrepid Onion reporters catch a break in their Nukhavistan investigation.
Game over, Montalban.
On Icons.
Icons.
News is an elusive prey that never rests, and so our two young headline hunters must remain ready to strike at all times.
Sorry. We've been getting notes on this Nukhavistan story for, like, what?
I'm on the phone.
It's been at least 3 weeks now. Now that we've been given the go-ahead for the story, nobody's talking. All we're getting are bits and pieces. What'd your guy from the CIA say?
I'm on the phone.
Sorry. Well, we've only got 24 hours, to get our facts straight. The story's gonna go nowhere fast.
Who are you talking to?
Huh?
That was the U.S. Postmaster. He just received a book of stamps called Great Nuclear Weapons of Nukhavistan. Could be a lead.
Jesus, yeah.
Being an Onion reporter seems to come with privileges that they only seem to have. They have an all-access pass to everything that happens in Washington, D.C.
The Onion reporters are always able to gather information that no other paper can get.
One of our contacts didn't show up, so...
The guy seemed legit. We talked on the phone for 10 minutes.
He did seem legit. The next step, I think, is to maybe not get sources off of Craigslist anymore. It's not reliable. If you're gonna buy a mattress or have a casual encounter, it's one thing, but not to get government information.
There's a burden for these reporters. When you have the weight of the Onion's reputation on your back, that's gotta be a lot of pressure.
Well, no matter how good a reporter you are, at the Onion, you have the shadow of T. Herman Zweibel to deal with.
The great-grandson of the company's founder, T. Herman Zweibel, took hold of the reins of the Onion in 1896. At the time, the paper was already considered a success, but with ever-growing ad revenue, increasing prestige, and strategic garrottings of newspaper rivals, Zweibel soon steered the Onion into the stratosphere. A terrible day came. Zweibel was publisher for only 10 years when the United States experienced one of its worst national disasters.
That issue will always be remembered by people like me for how to correctly cover a disaster. Least gay day indeed.
It isn't easy covering an earthquake. It certainly wasn't easy then. 3 reporters were killed writing that story, and 8 people were killed typesetting it. It was a very troubling era. This country had gone through some very, very difficult times. World War I, and there was the Great Depression, and then there was World War II, and there was rock and roll. Mr. Zweibel was in charge of everything throughout that entire time.
Despite a court-ordered retirement in 1958 and being too racked by illness to leave his 138-room mansion, Zweibel still plays an important role in the day-to-day operations of the paper.
T. Herman Zweibel calls me at least once a day. Not allowed to erase any of these. Oh, now, here's one. You'll like this one.
Do a story written by a pie. Damn you, ninny.
See, there's the reason I'll never retire from this newspaper. The man is 139 years old, confined to an iron lung, and he's still got a nose for news. He's a giant. I would never work at any other newspaper. I got a call. I've been offered jobs. T. Herman called me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Said if I took that job, he'd have me killed. A man needs to be wanted. Giant.
What do you think the Onion's place is in the world?
To report the news fairly,
Yes.
accurately.
Whether you like it or not.
I wouldn't use the F word. I would say as grandiloquently as possible. Is that a word?
Chief, we got the new Kavistan story right here.
All right, let's have a look. No. All right. We'll bump it up from page 6 to page 3.
Page 3, that's a goddamn important story. It should be on page 1.
Guys, you got a lot of detail there, all right? Where's the corroboration? No. Too risky. All right, look, tell you what. Go to the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency or the ambassador of New Kavistan and get them to talk. I need corroboration. Then, maybe, and only then, I might give you the front page.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks.
We'll let you down.
George, where's that anal bleach story?
When we come back, the Onion newspaper soldiers on without the publisher that made them a household name. And 2 Onion reporters go for broke on a news story that could net them a lucrative book and movie deal.
If I could take this time just to plug my book. And what it does is it details every American president's favorite candy choice. It's called All the President's Mentos.
Did Taff like taffy?
It's great. Why don't you take 8 months of research and flush it down the toilet with a joke?
Welcome to Cheat, your daily dose of tips, tricks, and video game subterfuge. I'm Kristen Holt with an offer you can't refuse. Some unbeatable cheats for Godfather on the Xbox.
I could put you out of business in a hurry, understand? Keep away from me, I'll pay.
Even a capo runs short on cash now and then. Enter this code at the pause menu to stuff your money clip with 5 thou. But hey, Paisano, don't you be greedy. You can only do this once a level.
And I'm gonna run him out of the business.
Johnny Fontaine never gets that movie, but you can unlock all the film reels in the game with this simple code. It's the smart move. That's it for now. To grab these codes and a whole lot more, visit us on the web at g4tv.com/cheat. Until next time, I'm Kristen Holt, and you've been cheating.
As Icons looks in, the 2 Onion reporters are fatigued from the long hours that their story requires of them.
All the pieces of the puzzle are like they're coming together, but we just haven't got anyone to comment from the U.S. State Department or the New Kavistan ambassador.
Right.
I mean, without those things, piece is worthless.
Your breath smells like the back of a bus. You know, where the fat kids sit.
I got it. I got him.
Yeah, what's up?
So, okay, what are you doing?
Nothing. What's going on? What you got?
Okay, we can talk to someone from the Defense Intelligence Agency and the New Kavistan Embassy.
Awesome.
The good news is they're right next to each other. The bad news is we got to get there in 15 minutes, otherwise we lose our chance forever.
Well, then let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, cool. Let's go. Can I ask you something? Do I smell like a fat kid?
Hey, maybe it's this one here.
Guess we were wrong. It wasn't the right one.
Do you think that maybe it could be that They just aren't telling us that it's a government agency because they're not allowed to. Talking to the source, not for the information on the article, but we actually got a little turned around. We're not quite sure where we are. We totally have to go here. I want to see if they get a jean vest. What? You got about 5 seconds to talk, buddy.
Whose side are you on anyway?
Mine. How was that?
It was good.
Yeah?
My turn.
All right. Where are we?
When we come back, we take a deeper look at the people behind the paper.
Have you ever been to Venice Beach, California? You know the homeless newspaper? Yeah, I helped out with that.
I thought that was written by the homeless.
It is.
The following takes place between 11:59 a.m. and 12 p.m.
It's a new caption. Don't misspell it.
Don't touch it with my keyboard.
Just press
You
the
have
period.
one,
Just
you
press the
wanna go
period.
over there and
Press the
play
period
with
because
it?
it's the end of a
It's fine.
sentence.
It's not a
See,
toy.
now it's a run-on sentence.
Not a toy.
You were going to embarrass both of us when you turn that in. Ouch! Okay. This. Good. Chief!
All right, guys. We got our new lead.
I think it's someone's birthday or something. I don't know. Anyway.
It was so hard! It was so much
It was hard.
Everybody back to work now. Start working on your next story.
He did the slow clap. It usually fades out. You don't see that the people just go back to work.
I'm tough. I need to be tough. All the other newspapers give the people what they want. The Onion? We give the people what they need. They need stories that the other newspapers don't give them. The truth, the reality of life. The people who read The Onion are the people who rule this world.
These troubled times require, cool heads, foresight, vision, knowing what the key stories are, what the public wants to know about.
Nice.
Hold the elevator!
Hey, George.
Boys, I need your help with the anal bleach story. We gotta run some experiments to be sure.
Well, I think it's the prime source for news for most people. I mean, you've got your so-called legitimate, whatever they think they are, papers of record, these various newspapers. But this is the real deal. This is the real deal. This is where you come to find out what really is going on in the world.
Toilet paper with bleach on it. So I want one of you to use the toilet paper and then the other one to take pictures. We gotta have it documented.
We've got to get on those kind of stories. The people need that kind of story. They need to know.
After the editor-in-chief approves the story, the copy is sent to graphics for photos and then to Malaysia for copy editing. The story is now ready for print. Since Weibel's departure from the paper, The Onion has become the driving force in the news industry. The Onion Radio News, created in 1961, became an immediate success.
Aliens call off their mission to communicate with humans through a urine-soaked homeless man. It's the Onion Radio News. This is Doyle Redland reporting.
Recently, The Onion has added a sports section, ignoring Zweibel's long-standing ban on covering people in short pants, and added reviews of popular culture.
Zweibel would out his ribcage if he ever found out about the AV Club.
But what does the future have in store for The Onion?
I don't know. Continuing excellence, I suppose.
I can't see a future where The Onion isn't there. It's just so integral to people's lives.
It's connection to everything in your world that matters most.
From a one-sheet tax write-off to a globe-spanning news-gathering organization, no one knows what the future will bring. But one thing is certain. The Onion is an icon of our age.
I can't tell what's in store in the future. But I do know that I'm glad The Onion is here, dispensing truth and keeping us all safe.
I'm sorry, hold on. Can you hurry up?
It's like an extra 10 minutes, him coming and going.
It's ridiculous.
He's a kid at heart, though, really. Even though he looks like a mummy.
In loving memory of George Herbert Klosnecki, 1901 to whenever he dies. We'll miss you.